Okay, so good evening, students, those who have joined today. Good to see you again. And today I will be discussing on the very new reform undertaken by our present government. And this is in form of a legal law, wherein government is saying that okay, enhance let us enhance the age limit for the marriages, specifically for women. So that is what our today's topic is. I request Khushi to actually share the screen also so that we can go ahead. Yeah, again and again the demand was coming in uh, from across different departments, ministries, and forums. Specifically, those forums, those who are talking more about women welfare or child welfare, they are talking more about this. That at least we should raise the child, the age of the marriage for the woman, because earlier or already in place the age of boy is 21 years and the previous age for women was 18 years. So there is a time gap of 3 years um, for this marriageable age for both the genders. And there are pros or there are cause or there are the reasons given uh, to go for this particular amendment. The demand was raised again and again, and it was this particular demand is actually pendable or pending since long. And in the year of 2021, our government has actually approved it, and they are now the age of the marriage for both the boys and the girls remains the same, that is 21 years. The existing law will be amended now to give it in a legal form. Whenever we are saying that uh, this is to be amendment, this is to be amended, it should take uh, in form of a law or as a legality or a legitimate document. So this is to be tabled at Parliament. A proposal is to be presented in the Parliament. Both the houses has to actually approve that particular. And there is a brief discussion going around whenever such amendments are there in the Parliament. Uh, MLAs, MPs, um, and other party members, they get certain time period to actually discuss on uh, for that. And of course, it was there. This particular law was taken under the consideration of various other women representatives. Beforehand, they have taken the consent of so many government organizations, PSUs, uh, mm, uh, other organizations, those who are working with women, SHGs, NGOs. Likewise, they have taken consent from each and every corner, and even the different ministries too. Those who are inclined towards more about woman or child care development. So what was uh, the highlight of that? Uh, Once this get actually approved in the parliament, the major highlight is the age has been actually raised. That is from 18 years to 21 years for the women. The change in the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act (PCMA) is considered a good step for girls. The amendment in Prohibition of Child Marriage Act (PCMA) 2006 is for bringing uniformity in age of both and men and women. Again and again, the voice was coming in why this variance is there. That is of 3 years, and that is why it is saying that we are bringing up a uniformity in age for both the genders. Saint Rampalji Maharaj is already doing several works for uplifting the condition of women in India. Why his name is actually mentioned here? Because he was the person actually who is talking more about this. That let us go for it. Let us try to change this age. And when this been tabled and when it gets approved, uh, Modi ji, of course, Honorable Prime Minister, what he said is this government is constantly concerned about the health of daughters and sisters. To save the daughters from malnutrition, it is necessary that their marriage they should be married at the right age. So that was actually his statement after the approval of this particular act in the parliament. Please move on to the next. Now, whenever we are saying that, mm, whenever we are saying that this has been done, it's never been done in a one day actually. The action which we are discussing about is never been taken in one day. It is always that some task force is actually working behind that. And in India, which is the major task force, whenever we are saying that any policy is to be reformed, that is Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog was constantly working under this. A 10-member task force was actually consulted. Eminent scholars, legal experts, leaders from civil society organizations. These all were the members of this particular task force. They have also interacted with women representatives of countries throughout webinars, and the same task force gave its report to Niti Aayog in December 2020. The task force itself suggested that age of marriage of girls should be 21 years. And this system of the government will benefit more than 4.5 crore of the country girls. According to the census conducted in 2011, there are about 1 crore 29 lakh girls of the age 18 years in the country. So the total number of beneficiaries as on date, that is in the year of 2021, will be somewhere around 4.5 crore girls, those who will be getting benefit out of this. As per the census, census was of 2011. We do the census every 10 years. Uh, any question as if now, or any suggestions, or you would like to know more about this? Anyone would like to say on this as if now? Or
So,
yeah.
so why was the age initially kept as 18?
Why we kept this thing 18? See, if you go with the UN legislation, or if you follow other countries, okay, specifically more number of countries are following 18 years of age. And mm, as a scholar, or uh, the specific reason for 18 years was given that after 18 years or so, adult student, okay, person actually becomes responsible, and he and she can actually undertake the decision what is wrong and right. He can identify, or he can distinguish between wrong and right. Firstly, this is actually given as per the remarks by some of the doctors. Actually, what is the permissible age to actually distinguish between good and bad? Doctors are saying that 18 years or so is the best, of course, years or age. Secondly, if you go with the UN, or if you go with the countries in the globe, you will find more number of countries are actually going with this 18 years of age, as per the doctor's report, or as per the survey being done previously. Even you will find some of the countries where I was going through one of the data here. I will reflect that data here itself. Uh, some 50 to 60 countries are there, those who are actually going with 14 to 15 years of age also. A girl or a child, he or she actually becomes eligible to get parenthood. And that is why this thing 14 years or 15 years of age has been actually given. But for a better healthy life standard, and for better understanding, 18 years is the age given by UN precisely. But it depends totally upon the countries they need to follow. And likewise, our country followed the same. And earlier we followed for 18 years for the woman or the girl, and 21 years for the boys. So it was free to all the countries to actually undertake what you are going to choose, specifically that age limit. Okay. But the reason was given as per the survey conducted by doctors and the scholars, that 18 years of mind of an 18 years of boy or a girl is good to actually understand about what is good, what is bad, and they can take on the decision of their own. Okay, so that is why. Now coming to our discussion,
So,
that yeah, yeah.
so I wanted to say that do you think that this decision that the government has made, which was earlier, that 18 years of age will be for girls and 21 will be for boys, it was right?
Of course, not right. See, if you see as per the statistic or as per the report, that is the report given either the career wise or the education wise or as per the health wise, you will find that because of that reason also we actually enhance this particular age, because a girl who is of 18 years of age, she is in first standard of graduation or just now completed her of course 12th standard, and she is focusing more towards her studies, she is focusing more towards her career. And once uh, for that particular period of time from 18 to 21, if she gets married in between that, somehow this becomes a barrier for her career and for her education or the aspiration to education. Secondly, the mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate was higher actually. If you are see, age to get parenthood is of course 14, 15, accepted, but a healthy parent or healthy child is also a greater concern for the country. So that is why I am not in favor of that 18 years of age. More number of deaths were there, more number of mortality was there in respect to infant also, in respect to mortality, maternal mortality also. Secondly, the career enhancement was at stake, education enhancement was at stake,
Sir,
and
I have a question, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Sir, how much time it will take to implement this particular bill? I think because Smriti Rani said that this particular bill will be given to the select committee for the recommendations. So, how much time it will take for really implementing this law?
Uh, as per the law is to be actually in place for the people, because there are certain concerns came out of the people, those who are actually there. It will take somewhere 1.5 year more to actually
And sir,
address those responses, whatever the concerns are there, just to uh, correlate those responses, address on those responses, respond to the ministries how to actually go for it. So it will take 1.5 year or so to implement specifically at the grassroots level.
okay, sir.
even
And sir,
even they have given a timeline for each of the activities, because they came to know that okay, we made this law and everybody is accepting or everybody is welcoming that particular law, but there are certain barriers into this, and to address those barriers, because so much documentation is required to actually make it to happen actually, so it will take 1.5 year or so.
okay, sir. And sir, sir, do you think that by looking at this law, so for example, Muslims are being allowed to get married at the age of 15, and Hindus are being allowed to get married at the age of 21 and 20, at the age of 21. So, do you think that we need to implement a uniform civil code so we can have a common personal law for whole country?
uh, this is a matter of debate actually. uh, if we go with the other forms of marriage act, Alok, you might be knowing this, that our country follow a different set of
Yes, sir.
pattern.
Yes, yes, sir, definitely, sir.
Whenever we are saying that we are talking about the marriage act, Hindu marriage act is entirely different. Christian
Special marriage.
marriage Christian
Yes, sir.
marriage act is entirely different. Parsi marriage act is entirely different. So at each of the society or community, we have a different act. So if we are saying that we are going to implement this particular act, that is uh, common minimum age for all the genders, somehow uh, we need to think for a different set of uniformity too. Because again, if we are saying that okay, go for it, some of the community will go as per this and other communities will not. So there will be a gap area actually left out. So, but uh, today we will be discussing more about the legal age of marriage. which we are actually talking about. Some other day we will talk on, of course, uniform law is required not only for the Marriage Act, it is required for so many things, because in our country we have follow different set of pattern actually. So we will take on some other day that discussion also. Okay. So
Okay.
what is the reason being given uh, by Niti Aayog or this particular task force? So as per the survey they have conducted from National Family Health Organization, uh, it is revealed that 56% of girls marry between 18 to 21 years of age. The percentage in the age group is for 18 to 19 is 7.5, more in rural areas than urban areas. While overall from 18 to 21 age group, the percentage of getting marriage is 56. The above figure really are a matter of concern, and it is believed that girls who marry at young age face severe problems in pregnancy and also in later stages. Even if you go for a mortality rate, that is maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rate, the issues were higher if the age of that particular girl is less. Thus, this step is considered a good move, keeping the girls' health and infant health in mind. Also, the rise in the legal age of marriage has been raised for gender equality by providing equal opportunity in education and later in getting jobs to have a second career or secured career. Moreover, girls would be mentally prepared to step into a new life after marriage. Uh, some set of people they were they were talking about this uniformity because we are not somehow, because of this law that 18 years of age for the girl and 21 of years of age of the boys, somehow actually we are not providing a equal opportunity to both the genders, and that is why either lower down to both for both 18 years or higher it to the 21 years. But as per the data or as per the survey, as per the data from National Health Mission and other forums, we came to know that increasing it to 21 years is more beneficial rather than decreasing it to 18 years or so. Change in the age of marriage after 43 years. Of course, the change in the age of marriage in the country has been done after 43 years. This is a time period previously when we did actually. Earlier it was 15 years of age. So earlier this change was done in 1978. The Sarda Act of 1929 was amended and the age of marriage was changed from 15 to 18 years. So this you should remember that in the year of 1978, we changed this 15 to 18. Earlier it was 15. What the task force did actually is uh, how the task force was working. The task force was set up in the month of June 2020, headed by Jaya Jetli, the former chief of Samta Party. Its work was to review the legal age of marriage for women considering the accurate age of entering motherhood. You know who is Jetli? Can anyone say who is Jaya Jetli?
So will you please repeat?
Who is Jaya Jetli?
Jaya Jetli,
Haan,
the wife of Arun Jetli, sir.
wife of Arun Jetli. He is a former chief of Samta Party. You are right. And she has written one book also. Uh,
Okay.
its work, of course, now up to now, she has written 2 or 3 books. Uh, uh, one book is on PM Modi itself. Okay. Its work was to review the legal age of marriage for women considering the accurate age of entering motherhood. Its task, its task was also to inspect the correlation of age of marriage and motherhood with health and nutrition status of mothers and infants. See, whenever we are going to change any law, we need to provide an evidence for that, uh, and to provide a legitimate evidence to it. The core committee or the task force are working towards, or they were taking the consideration of the health metrics or the nutritional metrics or the status of mothers and the infants, and correlating that particular thing and submitted it to the government that okay, because 18 years of age is having so much of diseases or they are actually facing so much of challenges while going for pregnancy or the motherhood or attaining motherhood. Rather, if we compare the other set of girls, those who are over and above 21 years of age, uh, the some happy stories are there, and because of those, government have actually taken into concern that okay, let us increase to it 21 years. Women marriage age in India 2021. Socialists believe that due to the lower age of marriage, girls become mother at early stage, which has a very bad impact on the health and of the mother and child. Being married at an early stage increase the mortality rate, infant mortality rate of the girl child. Getting married at early age also affects education and standard of life of a girl. So here, of course, the same point was there, but one greater point is it is affecting the education and also the standard living of a girl. So somehow we are our previous law or our previous age of the marriage for the girls is actually not giving good opportunities to them. So that is why we did this or we changed this. According to 2018 report, as per the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India, 2.3% of girls in the country are married before they reach the age of 18. See the concern. Even the law is there in place that is 18 years to for the age for the marriage. There are some 2.3% of girls in the country they are getting married before that. And in this regard, the condition of the village of the country is worse than that of the cities. Of course, urban and rural have a different set of
In that,
understanding.
I've seen that girls are getting married before the 18 years of age.
Of course, it is there already there actually. So, Women Marriage Act age in the figures of child marriage are increasing continuously. According to the National Crime Record, 785 cases of child marriage were registered in year 2020. In in this era, that is 2021, still we have a cases. This is the registered cases, of course, 785. There might be more than this, those who are not at all registered. If you go to Rajasthan, you will find still these child marriage acts are there actually. So this figure was 50% more than year 2019. Oh my God. So in a year of just a year change, that is 2019 to 2020, a 50% variation or increment is there into that. So you got to know how serious it is actually. Of course, whenever we have a certain laws in place, we have people those who are shouting. Some will come in, they will say, "Oh, no, no, what we are doing and why we are doing." There are many who are against the change, especially Muslim communities, MLAs. They argue that girls' age should be more than 18 years. Girls' age should not be more than 18 years. See, this is as per this can be might be because of their tradition which they are following as if now, or this will also increase or this will also uh, get changed in due course of time once they get to know okay, uh, others are increasing and seeing to other communities and the development of those communities, the girls of those communities, they will also change. But of course, some some hesitation, some reluctance is there always in our community, especially in India, for any of the reform. Please move on to the next. MLA Abu Azmi alleged that government is raising the age of marriage only to hide the wrongful activities being done to women in the name of several schemes, particularly Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. The government is just diverting the minds of public from corruption, malnutrition, inflation, and so on. This is a statement given by one of the person. Um, Women Marriage Act in India, Marriage Act is trending actually on Twitter once uh, it went as per the government, and the government is unable to fulfill the requirements of girl child. That is why they are doing this. Some are saying this, some are saying this step is very welcome step for many reasons. Article 15 also says that there should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, or gender. So Subhi Khan, advocate and activist, she is saying, see, in different community, in the same community, different, of course, thoughts will vary. we are our country, especially in our country, each and everyone is having a say to it, and each and everyone is having a thought on that. It is mere actually the way we view to that particular. Some are saying that okay, government is trying to hide some other things. Some are saying okay, this is best actually. We are giving equal opportunity to all, and that is how we are actually respecting Article 15, which is saying no discrimination to any caste, creed, culture, or gender. So this totally depends upon we guys how we are pursuing or how we are seeing that particular. Now coming to this is one set where government is saying okay we are going to do okay. uh, Khushi, you can close it here as if now I will tell you when to open it. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
sir, please take a please, next session should be on sir uniform civil code. It will be more interesting, sir.
Okay, I will try because we need to complete our mandate also.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Can you see?
Yes, sir.
The bill was highlights I have covered under the 2006 Act. A person married below the minimum age may apply to. Ha. Now coming to why it will take 1.5 year or so, although the law is in place, still it will take some time. Firstly, what I'm going to show you is uh, this is uh, a link which is actually from PRS India. PRS is a legislative body where each and every bill which is being discussed in our parliament, they are actually they are putting it here across. Okay, each link is you can say go and see. So from there only I have taken. So it went in December 2020, 21st December 2021 to the standing committee. Highlights of the bill was the bill amends the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 to increase the minimum age of marriage of female to 21 years. Further, the bill will override any other law, custom, or practice. Under the 2006 Act, a person married below the minimum age may apply for annulment within 2 years of attaining majority before 20 years of age. The bill increases this to 5 years, that is 23 years of age. What is this annulment, Alok?
Sorry,
Alok,
sir, your voice was not audible, sir.
uh, what is what this term annulment means to you?
And sir, don't. I'm not having idea, sir.
Okay, Google it because you are,
Sir,
yeah,
sir, annulment of a marriage means that the marriage will be invalid, like it won't be binding.
huh.
So
Within,
basically, it means some kind void. So the marriage will declare as a void one.
it becomes null and void. Okay,
Yes. Okay.
so
Not
within
interested.
2 years of time period, he or she has to, or that couple has to file it. Otherwise, it becomes absolute. Okay, so because you are from law, you should know about this, the terminology. Okay,
Yes, sir.
what was the key issues? The minimum age of marriage at 21 years is higher than the minimum age of majority, that is 18 years. The Supreme Court has ruled that marriage between adults is a fundamental right. The question is whether prohibiting marriage for person between 18 and 21 years is reasonable restriction on their right to marry. Uh, some were saying that okay, Supreme Court is saying that okay, as per the fundamental law, uh, this should not be like such. Minimum age of majority is 18 years. Then why we are going to increase it? About a quarter of 20 to 24-year-old women are married before the age of 18 years. Despite that, being the minimum age of marriage since 1978, the limited success of the current law raises the question whether an increase in minimum age would have any significant impact on reducing the incidence of child marriage. Here, uh, in the previous presentation, when Khushi was actually presenting, I have given you the number of count, somewhere 800 or so, that child marriage are still in place. Although the law is saying that, okay, the age of marriage is 18 years. Still, below the age of 18, we have a marriages. Okay. So if we are going to increase this from 18 to 21 again, will it really go and make a significant impact on reducing the incidence of child marriages? This is still to actually think for whether we can actually go for it or not. Let us go with the context. uh, uh, what actually the National Family Health Survey NFHS has given. This has been placed and this has been tabled at Parliament. That 23% of women between the age of 22 and 24 were married before 18 years of age. The figure has reduced significantly over the age from 47% 2005-6 to 27% in 2056 and 23% in the latest survey. So the age of 20 to 24 years, before 18 years, it's been reducing. In India, the practice of child marriage was first legally prohibited in 1929 through the Child Marriage Restraint Act. It was actually legally prohibited since 1929. As per the 1929 Act, marriage of girls below the age of 14 years and boys below the age of 18 years was prohibited. The act was amended again in 1978 to increase the minimum age of 18 years for females and 21 years for men. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 replaced the 1929 Act with the same minimum age limit. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021 seeks to increase the minimum age of marriage for females to 21 years. The bill was referred to Standing Committee on Education, Women, Child and Youth and Sports on December 21, 2021. This was in reference to the Education Ministry, Women and Child Care Development Ministry, Youth Ministry, and Sports Ministry. In June 2020, the central government set up a task force where chairman was Ms. Jayalalitha to examine the correlation of age of marriage and motherhood, health, medical well-being, nutrition, status of woman and child during pregnancy, key parameters such as infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, total fertility rate, sex ratio at birth, child sex ratio, and other relevant points pertaining to health and nutrition was in the context of this. The task force has submitted their report in the month of December 2020, where the suggestion to increase the age of marriage to 21 was made. However, the report of the task force is not available in public domain. Increasing the age of marriage for that we have covered. Time period for filing petition to annul child marriage. Under the 2006 Act, a person who is married before the minimum specified age limit may apply to annul the marriage. The petition must be filed within 2 years of attaining majority, that is 20 years of age. The bill increases this to 23 years, because now earlier it was 18 years, then it was 2 years, now it is 21 years, so it will be 23 years. Got it? That is why it's been increased 2 years, and this has been increased from 20 to 23 years. Different age for attaining majority and being allowed to
Sir,
marry. Yeah,
so one question.
yeah.
So basically, this time period is only for those girls who are married before the minimum specified age.
Ha. This is specifically for those who get married before attaining that particular age. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so
So
that
is
they
it this
can.
law was having a retrospective effect or it was having prospective effect?
Uh, I think under this law, it is silent actually. How they are going to take it forward,
Okay, sir.
uh, the law is silent on that. What will be the consequences to that? It's not actually written in that. Okay,
Okay, sir.
the difference may have a consequence regarding the rights and responsibility of person attaining to age. It is silent actually. Okay, so you cannot quote on that. The bill increases the minimum age of marriage from for female to 21 years, bringing it on par with that for males. However, the age of attaining majority is 18 years under the Majority Act 1875. Okay, uh, someone was asking why earlier was 18 years, because we have a majority, that particular act actually attaining a majority, that is 18 years, and that is what actually been utilized as if now up to 2021, 2021. Okay, that attaining a majority means attaining permission to get married for women as specifically. The difference may have consequences regarding the rights and responsibilities of person. Prohibiting marriages between the age of 18 and 21 years. There are inconsistencies between the minimum age for marriage and certain decisions of the Supreme Court. In 2018, the Supreme Court said that right to marry is a part of life, right to life, under Article 21 of the Constitution. It stated that right cannot be taken away except through a law which is substantially and procedurally fair, just and reasonable. In another case, in 2018, court held that when two adults consequently choose each other as a life partner, it is manifestation of their choice which is recognized under Article 19 and 21. That is why people across they are saying that whenever we are actually going for any amendment, specifically for child marriage amendment, it totally depends as per the constitution and as per the articles also. You cannot actually nullify the Article 19 and Article 21 of the constitution. And if two partners are actually they have attained the adulthood, and if they are going in for uh, conscious marriages, how can you actually go and restrict this particular age limit, that is 21 years? This are actually been given. Uh, so the bill restrict the right to marry before the age of 21. The question is whether this restriction for those between the age of 18 and 21 years meet the standard of reasonable restriction as explained by the courts. In general, for any restriction of fundamental right by law, there needs to be three criteria: a public purpose, the restrictions having a nexus with such purpose, and absence of less intrusive way to achieve the purpose. Got it, Alok?
Yes, sir.
It means if suppose someone is going and fighting for it, that I have attained the adulthood, then again, like these two case is been referred, the constitution is becomes the uh, greater.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
huh, it 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 puts a higher weight actually
Yeah, definitely, sir.
as compared to this particular law. In 2018, Supreme Court, while reading down Section 377 of IPC 1860, ruled that consensual sex between consenting adults is a fundamental right under Article 14, 15, 19, 21, and so. If this bill were passed, it will be legal to have sexual relations, but illegal to marry. This is actually a controversial point. Now coming to annulling. Annulling means the 2006 Act permitted a person married before the minimum age of marriage to apply for annulling the marriage. The bill increased the minimum age of marriage of females to 21 years. This implies that a period person married between 18 and 21 years must apply for annulling the marriage. Now, in India, we have a voting age 18 years, driving license 18 years, signing a contract 18 years, criminal liability 18 years, Lok Sabha 25, Rajya Sabha 30, President 35. This is some criteria, minimum age criteria is being given. However, in India, persons who attain majority are considered to be eligible for taking their own decisions and have and are held responsible for their actions, except in certain specified cases, such as person of unsound mind under most law. This includes both civil and criminal law. Allowing a person who married between the age of 18 and 21 years to apply for annulment is inconsistent with this principle. So it is contradicting actually. This particular law is contradicting uh, uh, with other laws or the Constitution of India. The minimum age of marriage for female has been 18 years since 1978. However, according to NFHS 2019-21 report, the prevalence of underage marriage remains high. 23% of women between 20 to 24 years of age marriage before the age of 18. At the same time, the detection of such marriages remain low, with only 785 cases registered under the law in 2020. This showed that there has been a limited success in curbing marriage of girls between the age of 18. So law, if you make it, still there will be the cases that uh, uh, people will go for underage of people will go for marriage below the ages of, that is 18 years or 21 years, whatever you say. What were the objections and the reasons given in the bill? According to a statement of object and reason of the bill, increasing the age of marriage will help in achieving various goals, including improvement of maternal and infant mortality rate, nutrition levels, sex ratio at birth, female labor force participation, gender equality, and it will lead to women empowerment. Data on MMR, IMR show that both the indicators have been improving in this country. The national MMR was 113 per lakh live births in 2016, an 80% decrease from MMR 1990. If you compare between 1990 to 2016, it is reducing actually. The IMR has declined by 69% from to 35% per 1000 births in 2019 from 114 in 1990. So here also it is decreasing. In March 2021, the WCD has replied to a question in Lok Sabha that there is no credible data to suggest that child marriage is the major reason for IMR and MMR. There may be various factors that affect motherhood like health, nutrition, lack of medical facilities, which may be contributing to issues of IMR and MMR. So again, it is contradicting actually. For example, several studies indicate that anemia is one of the main reasons for high MMR. As per the NFHS report, 57% of women aged between 15 to 49 years are anemic. Now coming to labor force participation in rate, labor force participation rate is identified percentage of population which are employed or are looking for work. According to annual periodic labor force survey 2019-20, LFPR for women between 15 to 59 years was 32.3%, much lower than 81.2% for men. As per the International Labour Organization, there are various economic and social factors that affect the LFPR. This include educational attainment, fertility rate, age of marriage, economic effect, social norms, urbanization. So alone, if you are saying that age of marriage is only the factor, it is not such. Education attainment, urbanization, economic effect, social norms are also the factors to this. Recommendation of various committees. UNICEF, it is saying 18 for both. A person is emotionally, physically, and mentally mature to marry at 18. UN is saying 18 for both should be equal to age of majority. Parliamentary Standing Committee 21 for male, 18 for female, as per the 2006 Act. Law Commission of India 18 for both male and female. So they are giving as per the data set, and this was tabled. This was completely tabled on this particular, which I have actually said. This was tabled at Parliament, and that is why so much concern was there that if we are only actually acknowledging, or if we are only going with the indicators of health, or if we are going with the indicators of uh, contribution of the woman in this cannot be only the one of the reason, or might be we are not going to actually address it, what is being said in this particular act. So there can be a variance to it, or even in some of the cases, what we are going to achieve by doing this will not be there. This is been said by various other scholars also, but uh, seeing the advantages, or seeing the giving the equal opportunities to our female counterparts or the girl child, This should be actually there, and this should be respected actually, because yes, of course, this is not one of the reason, but this is one of the reason because of which our girls or our ladies are actually facing problem. Khushi, now you can actually start presenting in that particular presentation. Go to that particular page, Convention of UN. If you can enlarge this, the Convention on Consent to Marriage, minimum age for marriage or registration of marriage, is a treaty agreed upon in the United Nations on the standards of marriage. Even UN also is taking account of this. They are also working for this. The Commission on the Status of Women has clearly opened this particular discussion. They have a ratification, they have a resolution under Article 1763 on 7th of November 1962. It was entered into force uh, 9 December 1964 by exchange of letter in accordance with Article 6. The convention has been signed by 16 countries initially, and there are 55 parties to the convention. The convention is based on Article 16 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The convention reaffirms the consensual nature of marriage and requires the parties to establish minimum age by law to ensure the registration of marriages. So whoever is the part of UN, they need to follow, and they need to make a specific line in their country uh, by which uh, is they need to establish a minimum age for the marriages. Okay, and that is why India India went for this, or India actually has placed this particular law. That is, either you take 15 years of age previously, then 1978 18 years of age, or now present 21 years of age, because we are also a part of UN, and UN is taking accord on this. They are asking all the countries to establish minimum marriage age by law. Okay. The idea of the convention first developed during the supplementary convention of the abolition of slavery, the slave trade, and the institution practice similar to slavery. Adopted by conference plenipotentiaries in 1956, this 1956 convention include articles which asserted that underage or forced marriage was a form of slavery. Within Article 1 of the convention, certain types of marriage were classified as slavery. The convention stated that institution or practices that include forced marriage for payment, the transfer of woman from her marriage or marriage family to transfer her for value, that is amount, the transfer for woman upon the death of the husband, is not legal or not correct. In 1957, the Commission of the Status of Women requested all Economic and Social Council to work on the convention. The draft article comments and revised text were requested by Commission in its 12th session in 1958. The Commission of the Status of Women requested the Secretary General to draft a convention and a recommendation on this issue. And under the article, what they have actually tried to do, they have asked under Article 1, marriage should be entered into with the full. Kushi, you can actually scroll it up so that all can see up to Article 10. Marriage should be entered into with the full and free consent of both parties. State participating in the consent shall set laws for the minimum age of marriage. Marriage should be registered by the relevant authority. The convention was open for signature until 31st December 1963 and is subject to ratification. The convention is open for accessible for all states referred to Article 4. The article details in the date of accession for all states that are part of convention. This article outlines the process of unionization of the convention. Disputes regarding interpretation or applications should be referred to International Court of Justice. Secretary General should notify relevant parties of signatures, instruments, date that the convention enters into force. Notification of deunification or abrogation shall be there. The convention is published in several languages and is deposited in the archives of the United Nations, the Secretary General or General Secretary of UN shall transmit a copy to relevant parties across globe. This was actually given by UN, and it becomes a mandatory law for all the parties. All the parties here I am mean to say, or this article mean to say is, whichever country is the part of UN, that country needs to follow it. Okay, and that is why. Please move on to the next page. If you can increase reported child marriage cases in India from 2015 to 2019. Uh, Total crime against children in India from 2015. What it is reflecting is, this particular data is reflecting how it's been actually constant, 0.31%, 0.3%, point again 31%, 0.35%, 0.35%. So constantly, uh, starting from year 2015 to 2019, if you see, uh, this is not going to reduce. This is increasing again and again. If you compare it from 2015, it is higher actually. 0.31 is there as a percentage, and now it is 0.35. So child marriages are still a set of uh, problem for uh, each of the government. I'm not saying here the present government, but for each of the government, this child marriages is actually a crime which has been taken across globe. Please uh, uh, make it to right hand side. Okay. And now if you can compare some of the countries uh, as per the age, if you see here, this is the age limit. Okay. Some are following 15 also. Mali is following uh, 15, not 15, 18. And others, Estonia, it is somewhere. See, Estonia is following 30, not 30, 32 or 33, 35. So this is for men and this is for women. But one thing is there, for women, the attainment of marriage age is lesser, and for men, it is higher.
Yeah, but this age of 13, 35 is it's a very huge time.
Ha,
Huge
ha,
time.
ha. The this uh, this will be a problematic in sense of fertility rate for the woman actually, and the generation or the population in in terms of scientifically or in terms of medically. This will be a problematic for the country. Okay, if they go for 35 years of age for the marriages or 32. So, but more specifically, if you see here, starting from 18 and going from 18 to likewise up to 35 5 years of age. um, Even men are going over and above 35 years of age also. um, any other slide here, Kusi, to present? Just check on if there is any other thing to present on from your end. I think
No,
this one is the last slide. Okay, let
yes.
me give you one more. Kusi, you can close it here. Let me open this first. There is one data. There was one data. Wait a while. Okay, let me share. Have is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
I was going through one of the data. see here. Can you see it?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Average age is given 27 for US, American countries 27, 33, 29, 33, 34, 30. I found one good data, of course. It was not this. This is given for men, what is the age? For women, what is the age? 80. If you see Asia, Asian countries, Afghanistan is 18, Bahrain is 26, Bangladesh is 25, Bhutan is 22, Brunei is 25. Uh, okay, for women and for men. So you can compare it here. Exactly what is the age for all the countries, and some were having 15 also. See here, Nigeria it is 15, Mozambique it is 17, 18, Uganda. Uh, I was going through certain countries, it was less than. Wait, wait. Explore data. More of the countries is in with average of 27. For men it is 33. Men is higher, woman is lesser, of course. But uh, if you go with this one, very uh, judicial consent. Okay, maximum are 18. Okay, 21 Central Africa, 22 Central male, and very astonishing fact was more of the countries are talking about 18 years or 21 years. Only if you see here America, it is 18, 18, 18, 18. Parental consent 15, 16, 16, 15, like so. 14 even. Colombia 18, 14, 14, 16. But I was going through one of the country, that is China. You know what is the age limit there? It is 22. See, 22, 22. I think this is uh, one of the country which have preset its age limit higher actually. I think out of this complete list, the complete countries here, I don't know how many countries this been listed here, the complete count, but I have found only the China in this list having a 22 years of age. Okay, this is this side it is showing the country. This is without parental or judicial consent. This is showing with parental consent. But uh, for male and female, uh, other countries are having. See, if you see Africa, for male it is 22, but for female it is 18. But if you go down uh, and reach to China, you will find for both male and female, as per the law, it is 22. So this will give you some idea why or what country exactly is looking forward for. And why we are saying, or why this data is, why we are saying, or why this data is talking about parentalhood. Because scientifically, as per the doctor's survey, as per the doctor's report, if you go for that age, that is 30 or 35 years of age, uh, the parentalhood, okay, or getting uh, woman to become a mother is pretty actually lesser in percentage if you compare uh, the ages from 20, 25 to 35, 40. So less number of women will be, you will find in the age gap of 35 to 40, and more number of women you will find in the age gap of 30 to 35 or 25 to 35. So that is why that particular data was as per the motherhood also, as per the scientifically proven age or good age for a mother or for a female to become a mother. That is why. Now, any of the queries, any of the questions in regard to this, please let me know. Else,
Sir, I have observed that in all the conventions which you have referred in all the conventions, so minimum 18 years of age have been recognized as a
see,
marriageable age.
see why 18 years of age? The doctors, okay, the fraternity of doctors and the researchers and the scholars, what they did is they have they went for one of the research that what can be the one good age, okay, for person to attain majority in the sense how what is that exact age when he or she should be eligible enough to take the decision, that is good or bad, on any of the decision, and that age specifically is 18 years. And that is why that India also follow the same act, majority act, that is we are following 18 years of age. Even we are signing a contract over and above 18 years, you can sign a contract. Over and above 18 years, you can even vote also. So that is why other countries are also following the same. Got it?
Yes, sir. So it was outcome, he said, that conducted by doctors.
It was consulted by doctors, it was consulted by scholars that what can be the best age actually. Previously, that too in 1945, 1946, they did this particular research that what is the good age to take a decision, which will not be biased one and which will be a fruitful one for the country. So, what is the attendance today?
Sir, 20.
20.
19.
Good, good, good. I request all to switch on your videos if you can. And any of the queries, do let me know.
And sir, I just got a notification that the Prime Minister UK has resigned from his office.
Oh, you know why?
Sir, because in last 48 hours, more than 50 members of his cabinet resigned.
Now, who will be probably prime minister there? You know,
Sir, Rishi Sunak.
he will be the prime minister. Okay,
This is
good
not
to.
confirmed, sir. Is he most probability high? उसकी लेकिन it's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed, but his probability is higher actually.
Yes, sir. He is also from Indian origin only.
And that is why. That is why the talks were there. Just 3 months before, the talks were there that sooner or later he is going to resign. So many wrong decisions have been taken by his particular office. That is why. Yesterday only he resigned. He and the health minister of that country, they resigned actually. And just to the effect of that particular resignation, uh, this is the retro effect of that. Okay. Okay. Any other queries? I request all to switch on the videos. Team leaders, if you need to share something, please share it here. Okay. And also tomorrow I will be evaluating your assignment 4. Okay. One by one, I will ask you guys to actually uh, come up and I will evaluate. I will ask you. Khushi, anything from your end?
No, sir. So I just wanted to tell them that those who have still not submitted their compensatory work, please do that by today itself.
Yes, please, please.
Also, please respond in the group those who have already submitted so that I can let some who have not submitted, I can let them know.
Students, please do respond what team leaders are saying so that we need to actually work on that. Team leaders, I and the college officials, they need to work on for those reports and all. So please support your team member, your team leader, me, your college also. Otherwise, we will be harsh on you. The retro effect of that. Okay. So best. Okay. Take care. Goodbye. Manchista, anything from your end?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then take care. Enjoy your weekends. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.